Hello students. Now today we start our lesson number 7. Nothing you can't do. Now here how can the greatest obstacles and difficulties in life be overcome? There is a question asked to you. How we get rid of obstacles and difficulties in our life. So there is a one very beautiful example is given to you. It is a story of Sharad and their friends. So today I start read the lesson for you. A shiver ran through my spine as I boarded the train to Delhi. It was a cool November evening and I was thankful that the shawl on my shoulder would go unnoticed. The shawl was a constant companion of mine, 12 months of the year, for it helped hide the stump that was once my right hand. And it was one such train that had given me this disability. 3 years earlier, at the beginning of the third millennium, I left my seat in an express train after having supper. I washed my hands at the sink next to an open compartment door. As I finished and turned, the train suddenly jerked, throwing me off balance. I was flung right out of the door. As I landed on my back, the carriage wheels served my right arm above my elbow. For the next couple of hours, I lay on the track, bleeding and in extreme pain, until a track inspector passing by found me. I was taken to hospital. My severed limb was too damaged to be sewn back. They said I was critical, but I lived. But I lived with this disability, this stump of a hand that I hide from everyone with a shawl. The compartment was almost full, but I am thankful that my seat was reserved. I walked nervously to my seat, gripping my suitcase in my left hand. For many minutes after I had sat down, I stared at the floor, too shy to meet the eyes of my travel mates, fearful lest someone noticed my disability. The cheerful, lively voices of the people around me made me realize that, unlike me, they were all young boys and girls in their early teens. There were 2 girls and 3 boys, all talking excitedly. Hi, hey, you too are participating in the Olympics? Inquired a tender voice from my right. I am talking to you, sir. This time I realized that the athletic boy sitting to my right was addressing me. I also realized to my horror that the shawl had slipped from my right shoulder, revealing my stump for everyone to see. Tears filled my eyes. I don't understand, what do you mean? I managed to answer in a choking voice. Manjeet, don't upset him, said the girl sitting opposite me. Manjeet startled you. I am sorry, she said again. But he meant no harm, you know. He assumed you too are going to Delhi to participate in the Olympics as we all are. This is because we all are like you. I was startled once again. I meekly raised my eyes. The girl smiled at me. She was not more than 14. She had the face of an angel. She was wearing a track suit and for a right hand she had a stump too. But she was not hiding it. On the contrary, it seemed to me she was flaunting it confidently. Then I looked at my right. The boy she called Manjeet gave me the biggest smile I had ever seen. He too wore a tracksuit, and from the way he said it was obvious that he had no legs. What is this Olympics? I managed to say. Oh, said Manjeet, So you really don't know? Well, I am sorry. Let me introduce ourselves first. I am Manjeet. The girl sitting next to you is Shahida. The boy sitting at the window is Kumar Swami, Kumar for short, and the one on the easel seat is Vikas. And I am an angel, said the girl who had the face of an angel. They all said hello to me as they were introduced. I responded meekly. I am Sharad, I said nervously. As they nodded encouragingly, I lost my hand. Don't worry about that, interrupted Kumar, looking towards me with his sightless eyes. We have all lost something and yet have gained much more than we have lost. Abilympics is an event where people with disability compete to show the world that people with or without disability enjoy equal rights and opportunities, said Shahida. With increasing fascination, I listened to each one. Each child had a different story to tell. Each one had lost a limb or a sense, but unlike me, they had all learned to cope with the disability and to conquer it. They found that if nature takes away one of its gifts, it showers many more to compensate it. If only the person with a disability could realize his or her hidden potential, then life would become richer, fuller and more enjoyable than ever. I came to know that the name Abilympics is derived from ability and Olympics. It was way back in 1972 that an effort to improve the vocational capabilities of disabled persons was made in Japan. An event was held. It was called the Olympics of Abilities. Disabled persons all over the world had their first chance to compete among themselves and prove their merits to the world. I was told that 1981 was declared the International Year of Disabled Persons. To commemorate this, the first International Abilympics was held in Tokyo. The event was a phenomenal success. In the second Abilympics, held in Bogota, Colombia in 1985, the International Abilympics Federation, IAF for short, was established. Since then, International Abilympics have been held with growing success. Australia was the venue in 1995 and Paraguay in 2000. Now none of us slept that night, listening to the children describe their hobbies and their events in the Abilympics. I could feel the confidence rising in me. The shawl that had covered my disability had fallen away. I never made an attempt even to look for it. I decided I would go to the Olympics Stadium as a spectator and cheer for the children and for every disabled person on this earth and for myself. It was one such train that gave me a disability, yet it was another train that gave me a meaning to my life. So students, this is the story of Nothing You Can't Do. So all of you read it